So conservatives, Republicans, those types claim to care about quote unquote sanctity of life, and yet just the day after the basically total ban on abortions in Alabama was signed into law by the Republican quote unquote pro-life Governor Kay Ivey, um, she signs the paperwork that will that led to the execution by the state of Michael Brandon Samara, who was convicted along with a friend of the 1997 of killing 4 people. Obviously, I'm not justifying that, but how can you, on one hand, care about the sanctity of a unborn child, a fetus that's not, capable of feeling pain or anything like that, and then yet, which is growing inside of somebody else's body, which, conservatives are always crying about, government staying out of people's lives, yet this is the most personal thing that they're trying to interject into, a woman's life, and, one of the most, difficult choices that she should have to make. And then, I don't know, it's insane. It's not about the sanctity of life. They just want to control, women's bodies, and there's nothing else. There's no other area in healthcare where, they're making these same claims. Like, one of the female or women legislators in the Alabama Congress had introduced an amendment to that abortion ban bill that would make it a requirement for all men to get, vasectomies, just to show the ridiculousness and the outrageousness of, this whole abortion ban issue, because it's just about control. They're not concerned about women's health. Alabama has one of the highest rates of infant mortality in the country, along with maternal mortality. So instead of maybe devoting resources to that, making it easier for women to get high quality health care, maybe devoting some time and resources and money into that, they're just about this fucking ridiculous notion of trying to control what women can or cannot do with their own bodies. And it's just hypocritical and just disgusting on so many levels. And then they are in support of capital punishment, also, which could just be better called, state-sponsored murder. So it's just incongruous. Women should have the right to do, what they want with their own body. That's a choice that should be left up to them, and in consultation, with their healthcare provider and, loved ones in their family, if they so choose to include them in that decision. But ultimately, it should be their decision to make. The state should play no part in that. It's just frankly an area that the government has no right to intrude upon. And listening to this interview on Democracy Now!, one of the few doctors in Alabama, an OBGYN, who does also perform, abortion services when these women need it, which is saying how it's, oftentimes, these women don't qualify for any type of health care until they become pregnant. So it's not, like I said, it's not any concern for women's health, or even, for those children, because once they're born, they're often, born into poverty. In these southern states, there's a huge, lack of resources to, give that child a quality upbringing. They're not going to have access to, if the mom's, working or trying to go back to work, there's not access to, free, high quality daycare or preschool for that child, as well as, free or high quality educational opportunities for that mom, or job training, or healthcare, or housing, or, any of these types of things that would legitimately improve the life of these mothers and these children. So it's, I don't know, it's just a bunch of bullshit and very, frustrating to hear this piece.